Are you struggling with your faith? Maybe you believe in God, but deep down there's this nagging doubt. You wonder, does he really see me? Does he hear my prayers? Will he come through for me? Or maybe you're facing a situation so overwhelming that you feel like your faith is slipping. If that's you, you're not alone. And you know, Yeshua doesn't reject you because of your doubt. He wants to draw you closer. In Mark 9:23-25, we see a father in agony. His son is tormented and he's desperate for a miracle. He turns to Yeshua and cries out, "I believe, help my unbelief." Wow, that's real and that's raw faith. It's not perfect, but it's honest. And here's what's so powerful about that. Yeshua didn't turn away from him. He didn't scold him for his doubt. He met him in his weakness and performed a miracle. Listen to me. God isn't looking for flawless faith. He's looking for surrendered hearts. Faith isn't about feeling strong all the time. It's about trusting God, even when you feel weak. But here's the key. Your faith grows in the presence of God. It's not just about believing when you need something. It's about living for Him every single day. This is where so many of us get stuck. We want faith that moves mountains, but we're barely spending time with the one who moves them. We want peace, but we're not rooted in His presence. Listen, faith doesn't grow in isolation. It grows in intimacy. It grows when you walk with God daily, when you seek His will above your own, when you trust Him even when life doesn't make sense. Let me tell you something. God is faithful. He's not distant. He's not indifferent. He's not ignoring you. He's with you even right now. And He's inviting you into a deeper relationship where your faith is no longer fragile, but unshakable. Now let's put this into action. How do we strengthen our faith? How do we move from doubt to confidence in God? Here's what you need to do today. As always, you got to get into His Word. You have to remember that He's given us His Word as His primary way to speak to us and to draw us closer to His heart. And He tells us that faith comes by hearing, and hearing through the Word of Christ. Now that's Romans 10:17. The more you know Him, the more you'll trust Him. Shift your prayers from asking for things to seeking His presence. Instead of saying, "God, give me this," start saying, "God, give me you. I want to know you more deeply, more fully, more intimately." When you pursue Him, everything else falls into place. Also, practice remembering His faithfulness. Write down past victories. When doubt creeps in, remind yourself of every time God has come through for you. He hasn't failed you yet, and He won't fail you now. Again, as I always say, surround yourself with faith-filled people. Get around believers who will lift you up, speak life into you, and remind you of who God is when you forget. Because faith is contagious. Then, you're going to need to step into obedience. You have to step out in obedience, because faith isn't just believing, it's doing. Take the next step God is calling you to, and even if you're afraid, faith grows when you use it. But most importantly, surrender to His will. His will is perfect, and sometimes His answer is not what you want, but you got to trust Him. Remember that His will for you is what's best for you, even when it doesn't feel that way. He loves you. Now, if this message spoke to you, please drop a comment below and let us know how. Also, it would be real helpful if you would like, subscribe, and share this with more people so we can help build others up in their faith to come to know the one who created them and loves them more than we could possibly imagine. God is calling you to more. He wants you strong in your faith, unshakable in your trust, and deeply rooted in Him. You're not alone. He's with you, and He loves you, and He's growing your faith even now. Just believe. Let's go.